Hello, and welcome to the Sunday League Pundit Show, episode 71. 71, yes, episode 71. You have myself, Stretch, my very good friend Jim Jam, on camera, and off camera, my very good friend Tin Ribs. How are we, gentlemen?
Okay, yeah, very good.
We've had a good week?
Yep.
Good. You had a good week?
Probably not, but
We'll go into that later, maybe.
Maybe not.
We'll maybe go into that later, we might not.
We might not.
My week's been interesting. We'll go into that later. Perhaps. So, right, let's start as we normally do with Jim Jam, the Snapman stat. Do we have one?
We do, but
Good.
Wrexham ruined my original.
Which
They were
was?
the only team that had scored in every single game in 2025. And then they went goalless yesterday, and it was like, screw you. That was a good
had
one.
A stat
that
right up
was
to the day before.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So it was like... So then I was just looking at like FA Cup stuff, and I was like, 912 games is like the biggest, like... the most games that a team has played in the FA Cup, and that's Kettering Town, that have never gone past the fourth round, so obviously they are qualifying round specialists.
Wow.
Ian Rush has the most goals. Arsenal have the most trophies.
Wow.
Wenger has the most wins as a manager.
7.
Yeah. What
Also,
player has the most
wins as a
wins?
player?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to have
7 as well.
I'm going to have to go with the obvious, which will be the guy that's most decorated ever in Premier League history. Is it not Ryan Giggs?
No.
Wow, that's a shock.
Yeah. He played for 2 teams, one being at Arsenal and one being Chelsea.
Fabregas.
No.
Gallas.
Nope.
Willian has played for both. I don't think he's won it 7 times. Though.
Ashley Cole.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Why did I not think of Ashley Cole?
Yeah, so he's won the most as a player with 7 as well. For
Fair
little
play to him.
things.
Yeah, it's a good competition to win. I like the FA Cup. I like the League Cup. I like them all. Arteta doesn't though. Hey, arsehole. Right.
There is another thing though that I heard today on the way here on another podcast I was listening to.
Another
and
podcast, eh?
I know.
Dreadful.
Fozcast. And
Forgive me.
he said Arsenal are a lot like Netflix. You're always waiting for the next episode, next season.
Right, why is it, before we go to play the music, why is it Arsenal are the only team that get all this bullshit about next season's going to be our year and this, and this. Do you realise there's only one team that win the league every year? So there's 19 teams that don't, but Arsenal are getting the shit for it.
It's because of the fans, because they're turning into a new Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how? Because I don't feel like I am.
No, quite literally. Arsenal fans are literally one phrase away from being the new Liverpool.
Yep.
It's our fucking year, mate. It's our fucking year.
Right.
The second we start getting that from Arsenal fans.
I haven't
game
said
over.
that in the 5 years Arteta's been in charge.
Yeah, but you're
in fact,
one-
the only thing I've said is next year's not going to be our year
but-
because Arteta's in charge.
Stretch. You are 0.00000% of all Arsenal fans. The
What's
Arsenal
wrong with being realistic?
Yeah, but most Arsenal fans are idiots.
I mean, he's got a point.
I mean, you spend 10 minutes on social
I've
media.
seen him on social media.
And within 10 minutes on
Dreadful.
social media, it's like, what? The rest of the world is watching one game. You're watching something completely fucking different. They are becoming...
As annoying as it is, I
you
have
are
to agree
becoming
with him.
Yeah.
the new Liverpool.
I don't want to agree
It's
with
getting
him,
to the
but I
point where
have to.
I actually now see less bollocks coming out of the Liverpool fans' mouths than Arsenal fans.
He's not wrong.
No.
That's a good place to play the music.
Hello, and welcome to episode 71. We are going into the week's events, which is amazing for all 3 of us because it's fucking FA Cup week and none of us are in it.
Southampton have a loss this weekend. Woo!
You had a weekend without losing. How's
Yeah.
that feel?
Good.
Feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Did they even play?
No.
That's why.
Because it's FA Cup.
We just established
No,
that.
I just wondered if you played in any cup or any game or anything.
No.
Not that I
They
know
didn't
of.
even play in training, apparently, because they didn't want to demoralise the squad too much by doing the old Newcastle thing where they go 1-0 down against nobody.
Yeah.
Newcastle have got to be the only team in history to do that. So
I
the week's
honestly
events,
think that Southampton are the only team that could field 2 teams and still come third.
I mean, it's harsh, but he's got a point.
Yep.
So let's work our way back to Monday, which was Sheffield United versus Leeds. Tin Ribs, your thoughts on Sheffield United 1, Leeds 3?
The score flatters Leeds a little bit.
Okay.
Sheffield United looked decent for a good majority of the game, but once we'd scored, it kind of fell apart. Well, we scored, and then it was a hard game. And then within about the 70-something minute?
I remember this. After 14 minutes, Meslier scored an own goal.
Yeah.
And I believe I did mention on the podcast last week that Meslier was going to score an own goal.
Yeah.
I didn't actually put it as my prediction.
The problem
but I
was,
did say.
prior to that, Meslier had made an absolute clanger coming for a cross he had no right to come for, flapped at it, and if it wasn't for Gruev being on the line, we'd have been 1-0 down within about 5-6 minutes. At this point was when I messaged you guys saying, you know what, he's got to go now.
Yeah, I remember getting that message, and I'm like, oh, that must have been bad.
Now,
and then he messaged us a couple of minutes later, and he scored no goal. I'm like, that's hilarious.
He did redeem himself later, came back into the game, and he actually did well. However, until Firpo scored in the 72nd minute, it was a tough game. And unfortunately, I think it was a case of once we'd scored, when Sheffield looked very, very shaky.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, we started piling on the pressure. Tanaka then scored in the dying debt. Pretty much like, that's it. Oh, Tanaka's just won it for us. And then 1 minute later, Pirro scored again. And it was, I'm not going to lie, squeaky bum. I didn't think we were going to get much from it. It looked bad. So the score is flattering for Leeds. But again, 2 weeks in a row now, we've gone down to a goal and we've come back.
I mean, you had slightly more possession. Sorry to interject, but you had 18 shots and they had 10.
Yeah.
So you were definitely attacking more than they were.
Yes.
I mean, were the shots from miles out? Because it looks like on FOTMOB they were decent efforts, like in and around the box. Yeah, they weren't miles away.
I won't say that we were the team in transition. We were the better team, but the score definitely flatters us.
Okay.
Massively flatters us. It was a good game, but there was squeaky bum moments. In all fairness, Sheffield at points could have started running away with it. It was a good game to watch, but it was a little bit unnervy. But like I say, the score definitely flattered Leeds a little bit.
I mean, I'd take it anyway. Like a win's a win.
Oh, I'm not complaining. It's. But remember when we were saying sometimes you don't have your best performance, but you still manage to grind out a win. That's how you win leagues.
That's what champions do. Yeah.
That's kind of. They are probably the second best team in the league. There's no arguments there. Mm-hmm. They're in second. They are a good team. They play decent football. They're not boring to watch. And in all fairness, yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game to watch, but if you were a neutral, good game. If you're a fan, you're pulling your hair out. Not as much as yesterday, but we'll come to that in a bit.
That leaves you, after the whole week, you're now 3 points clear of Sheffield United.
It left us 6 points clear. 5 points clear. However, we'll go into that in a minute.
Yeah, we will. Right, so Tuesday we had Chelsea 4, Southampton 0.
Yep. What a load of crap.
Tell us how you really feel. I'd like to know your actual feelings on it.
My actual feelings?
Yeah.
Manager needs sacking.
Already? You were behind the last guy that was getting ass raped, though, so why is this one any different?
Because he's playing Joe fucking Aribo, an attacking midfielder at centre-back. I'm sorry, but why is he playing an attacking midfielder that's never played centre-back before at centre-back when he's got Taylor Harwood-Bellis on the bench that could only manage 45 minutes, but you'd have thought, okay, start him, man. They've got Nathan Wood, who's done okay, on the bench, who is a centre-back. They even have got Jack Stevens, who calls himself a centre-back, maybe League One standard, but that would be better than Joe frickin' Aribo at centre-back. The manager is clueless.
I mean,
he's not even Sunday League.
They walked all over you, for a start.
They did. It was pathetic.
Yeah, it didn't go well. You got beat 4-0, like we say. And just another disappointment for you, really, isn't it? So you think your manager should go then already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he can't be the man to lead the team next season.
But remember what I said when I was laughing at you for bringing him in? And you were like, "What is it, Roma?" He was defending this guy.
I didn't defend. I didn't know anything about him. That was the one problem. And the worst part is when he was appointed, Moyes was available.
Yeah. Yeah. I just
And
want
you
to
look
point
at
out
stuff.
that the clue wasn't when he pulled up in a little weird vehicle, got out with his friends.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, to be fair, Moyes would have been a good one to go for. I like Moyes.
But we can be relegated if results go the way we can be relegated in 4 games' time.
That long?
Yeah.
Long fucking hell. He's here counting the days down, hurting, and then you behave like that. You are a horrible human being, you know that?
I know.
Awful human being. Brighton 2, Bournemouth 1. We will move swiftly on from that, mate. Brighton 2, Bournemouth 1. Cliver again. Welbeck again. He's had a good season, you know he has.
He has.
Brighton are a decent team. Palace 4, Aston Villa 1. Bit of a surprise, mainly because Nketiah scored, and that's not a regular thing. Wolves 1, Fulham 2. Always good to see Wolves lose.
Yeah.
Not a big fan.
I would dip into the Championship there because there's 2 big games there, really. Because
Cardiff
Cardiff beat Hull 1-0 because they're both towards the bottom end of the table, and Stoke got smashed up by Middlesbrough.
Well, if you
And they're in the relegation battle.
Well, since you want to do that, let's just drop back down another league and go to Birmingham beating Leyton Orient 2-0.
Yeah.
Leyton Orient were on good form, pushing for promotion into the playoffs, and Birmingham just...
They did have a man sent off as well.
Yeah, Birmingham are another level, and at the moment, there's a reason why they're 12 points ahead with a game in hand. They are going to...
Done it right.
But it's like they were doing a whole thing about how Wickham, who was second, have spent 1 million in the last transfer, and then Birmingham have spent 20, and they're on about it. And it's just like, Birmingham went down, had their team stripped out, they've got to reinvest. Wickham have been in that division for years. They've probably... Do you know what I mean? You've got to sort of put a context on it. It's all good talking about one transfer window, but if you've got a team that are established, you don't need to spend a lot of money. Maybe they brought some players in on free. Birmingham had to rebuild their team.
But there is a
Makes
battle for
sense,
second place, though, isn't there? Because you've got Wickham, Wrexham, Stockport, maybe Huddersfield at a push.
I'd say Huddersfield are in there. It's only 6 points.
I suppose you can even include Charlton then.
Yeah.
Because
Anyone
games.
inside the top 6 can still vie for second place, I would say, personally.
yeah, because there's
Bolton
13
are
games.
only two points outside playoffs, so they can fight for playoffs. And Leyton Orient, Reading can still go. Barnsley can still go. I think Blackpool are... It's basically top 10.
From a neutral point,
Jesus Christ. 10th have got 52 points.
I know, yeah.
11th have got 44.
Can I just
That's a
say one
massive
thing,
jump,
though?
that is.
Just one quick thing. I just want your opinions on it. We don't look at League 2. We don't look at League 1. But from a neutral stance, do you watch the playoffs? Because I know I do.
Always. But then, don't forget, I used to follow Mac, who were in League 2 before they folded. So I generally have followed them leagues when Mac are in it.
I know I sort of follow Burton Albion. Keep that in mind. But
Again,
what I mean
so I keep an eye on it, but now Mac aren't in it. I watch the lower leagues and not League 1, League 2.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, it's like this year, I will be watching all of the playoffs. It's just
100%.
I always watch the playoffs. I love the
100%.
playoffs.
Because the games are great.
The only time I don't like the playoffs
is when you're in it.
is when I'm in it.
And god damn, you made that playoff final
boring. Because Southampton are just a
God.
really boring team. They're like Burnley, but worse.
They're like Burnley, but worse. That's the name of the
So
pod
true.
this week.
I wish
Burnley, but worse.
shouldn't have gone up.
Holy shit. That's painful.
I take it back. To be fair,
Yeah.
Southampton did play nice football. It's just
Yeah.
when they played
No,
us.
no.
When they played us, they played fucking boring
The
football.
name of the pod is set in stone.
That's
Burnley, but worse.
Yeah,
you
that's good.
horrible man.
But they did what they needed to do on the day.
Bore a nation and get up. But in all fairness, it was a payoff. They produced one of the most boring fucking playoff finals of all time to provide a whole season of comedy.
Yeah.
That's fucking brutal, to be fair.
It just reminds me of a Gavin and Stacey meme, where it's just, don't make a fool of yourself in the Premier League. I already did. Speak up. I said I already did.
Yeah, brilliant.
So Wednesday,
Yeah.
Brentford 1, Everton 1.
Everton have looked like a much better team since Moyes took over.
Definitely.
And I mean a much better team. They look more composed, they look stronger, the players look more up for it. As I said, Dice just not very good.
Yeah.
And there's all the you can't. I know they always have a talk about new management bounce and stuff, but even with new management bounce, let's take Man United for example with Van Nistelrooy. For 2 games they looked okay,
Yeah.
but then within 2 games they were back down to being absolute garbage. Van Nistelrooy went to Leicester and they continued to be garbage. Moyes has gone in, and what's he been in charge now? 6 games.
Yeah.
And what have they got from the last 6 games? I'm just going to very quickly have a look at their last 6 games.
They might even be unbeaten still.
No, they
Or
lost
have
to
lost
Bournemouth
one?
in the FA Cup. However, when did he take over? When was he actually in charge from? One moment. So he was in charge against Tottenham. Was he in charge against Villa? I think wasn't the Villa game his first game in charge?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No idea.
He was in charge at Villa. And then Bournemouth. Let's have a look. So, yeah. So, his first game, he was in charge at Villa. And they lost 1-0. Now, let's be honest. At the time, Villa were riding high. Villa are not a bad team. 1-0 loss isn't the end of the world. He then beat Tottenham 3-2. Beat Brighton 1-0. Leicester 4-0. We'll ignore the FA Cup. Drew 2-2 in that fantastic game against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Beat Crystal Palace 2-1. A very interesting half and half against Manchester United
Yeah.
for 2-2 draw. And then he drew with Brentford 1-1. That is not a bad run. And if you think about it, that run there, that's not new management bounce. That's just a damn good manager.
Yeah.
So that just goes to prove
Making more out of the team.
Dyche is garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I have to hold my hands up here because I genuinely was defending Dyche for a long time, but you've got a point.
He was
You've
just
got a
Tony-
point.
he
I
was
have
just-
to hold my hands up and just say I was wrong.
He was just Tony Pulis off Wish.
Wow, I mean, that's rough, that is.
Tony Pulis after his had his throat ripped out.
So, next game, Man United 3,
Jesus
Ipswich
Christ.
2, and Ipswich took the lead.
I know,
It
yeah.
was kind of funny for a while, but no.
I wish
Got it
Ipswich had one.
Then Man City beat Spurs.
Man City did beat Spurs
1-0.
1-0. Quite a
Liverpool
boring
beat
game.
Newcastle 2-0. And tell us
Right.
about Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal.
Right, so we got Nottingham Forest 0, Arsenal 0, which had I thought, which I didn't at the time when we were predicting the game, had I thought Arsenal are going to defend well, 0-0 is what I'd have gone for. Because there's no way Arsenal could still be playing now and they wouldn't have scored a goal.
So, going on that, I've actually noticed from you saying about Arsenal doing well, FOTMob gave Saliba man of the match,
Yeah.
and David Raya actually got a 7.5 rating, which, as a goalkeeper, that's good.
Oh, it's very good. I think it was given out
Well-
of sympathy
Sal's only got a 7.6.
because Raya is fucking shite. Does not belong in the Arsenal goal. He had about 5 or 6 games at the start of this season where I genuinely thought he was really good and he was starting to turn around. No, he's been fucking shocking. He was even on the halfway line at part during this game trying to tackle somebody. I don't know if you saw that. You obviously didn't by the look on your face.
No.
But the guy is embarrassing. He's absolutely shocking. So we defended really well in that game. Our attack was pointless, toothless, out of ideas. Everyone seems to be blaming Martin Odegaard at the minute because he's not been the same since his injury. That was quite a serious injury.
Yeah.
And now you're expecting him to carry 11 passengers.
Yeah.
What is he Superman or is he a footballer? Like, you can't do everything by yourself. Like, I don't care, Tin Ribs, how good you are as a goalkeeper. I don't care. If them 4 defenders in front of you are shite, you're going to concede goals.
Yep.
I don't care how good you are.
I'll agree to that.
Now, I don't care how shit their defence are. If we've got Stuart Little and his mates going up against them, they're not going to score a goal. They're just pointless fucking putting them on. Trossard, I like him as an attacker, but if he hasn't got anything with him, he does look bad. Because there's nowhere for him to go with it. He's not a natural goal scorer. He needs that person with him. Who's that? Mikel Merino. Mikel Arteta's mate from Spain. Brilliant. What's that got? He got 2 goals against Leicester, who couldn't defend against us on a fucking Friday night, and all of a sudden he's the next Thierry Henry. Are we doing this? Like, did you see half the Arsenal fans after that game? Marino's the new messiah. Marino this, Marino that, Marino the... He scored 2 against a fucking shocking Leicester City team.
Remember my point about Arsenal fans being the new Liverpool fans?
Honestly, it's embarrassing. Just look at it for what it is. Mikel Arteta is a coach. And by that, I don't mean a head coach. I mean a fucking on-field coach. Right? That's all he is. I'm not even going to give him assistant manager anymore. He's a coach. Because that's what he did well at Man City. Arsenal need a whole new back team, apart from maybe Jovic or Jovan or whatever the fuck his name is, the set-piece coach. He's the only one I keep. Get rid of all the others, because they clearly don't know what they're doing. We've had 5 years in which we bought one striker, which was Jesus, who's not a striker, he's a forward. What are we doing? And then you got all the Arsenal fans on like, we're going to win the league. How exactly? How the fuck is that team going to win the league?
Whoever
You've got more
decided
chance
to
of winning
buy,
the Premier League than we
whoever
have.
decided not to buy a striker in that January transfer
Arteta is the
window,
manager. Arteta's the manager, and
It's
if he
to
doesn't
blame.
put his foot down and say, I need a striker, it's his fault. He should go to the owners as the manager and go, we need a striker.
what
'Cause
if
if
he
we
did?
don't- Well, then the higher-ups need to go. They need to sell the club. If they're not willing to put the money in and buy what we desperately need, when we've sold Smith Rowe, goal scorer, Eddie Nketiah, okay, granted, we sold him. No problem.
You'd
But
take
it's
him
still
now, wouldn't you?
It's still a striker that you haven't replaced.
You would take him now, though, wouldn't you?
Of course you would, because
Nketiah.
at least he's a striker.
You'd have fucking Shamak at the moment and
Yes,
Adebayor.
I think
Adebayor's a no.
I think you'd have Bamford at this point.
Honestly, I would, because at least he's a striker. At least he thinks like a striker, so he makes the defenders move. Whereas Marino's a midfielder, and he thinks like a midfielder. So therefore, the defence are under no pressure at all. Martinelli's out. Saka's out. Jesus is out for what it's fucking worth. Havertz is out. I know. We'll not buy anybody in January.
To be fair, you've not even said a striker yet.
Because we haven't got any. The only striker we've got is what, 17, and he's on the bench? Butler, Adjuwade, I don't know his name actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to butcher it, so I apologise for that. But no, the first part of his surname is Butler. I just put him on the fucking pitch. At least he's a striker.
Yeah.
Lewis Skelly. Go back, Fabregas. We chucked him on at 16. Didn't do him any fucking harm, did it? Anelka, he was 17 when he fucking hit the ground running. Why don't we just try this kid? We've got no strikers. Just go, look, I'm sorry, mate. You might not be ready, but we've got nobody else. We've got nothing else. You're going to have to go on and just try and do something. At least he thinks like a striker. This is my complaint with us when we get together. People don't think like strikers. Everyone wants to be there scoring the goals, but unless you have that thought process and that movement, you're not going to get them. We haven't got people with that thought process. It's fucking embarrassing.
So, on that note, your opponents, I just want to say, how much has Nunes changed Nottingham Forest since he got there? And keep in mind, he has picked up 4 points. Hang on, no. Did they beat you at the start of the season? Or is it 2 draws they've had from you?
I think we drew with them, didn't we, if I'm honest?
You drew with them this time around, but at the Emirates... Wait for it, there'll be a head-to-head here, won't there?
There will be.
But anyway, as I was about to say, they took 4 points from Liverpool. I think they took 2 points from Arsenal.
Arsenal beat...
Arsenal won 2-1.
Oh, did they win 2-1?
30th of January 20... Oh, that was 30th of January 24.
Yeah.
No, 23rd of November, 24.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we won
3-0.
3-0.
won 3-0. So, but they've took.
When you said 2-1, I'm like looking at a different game there.
But they've took a point from you.
I need
I
to
looked
scroll.
at the right one.
They've
I
took a
need to
point from
scroll.
you. They've took 4 points from Liverpool.
Yep.
They're sitting third. I mean, really, they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And this is what annoys me, that we didn't get him when we had the chance, because we didn't want to spend the 2.1 million to release clause him from Saudi Arabia.
Mm.
And it's managers like that. And it's like Tottenham, they didn't give him chance.
Do you know where I think he would have been good, to be fair? Fucking Arsenal, if we'd have put any thought into it. Because Arteta's a fucking useless twat.
I think he's a great manager. Great coach. Absolutely fantastic.
I still think that in 2-3 years' time, I still think Arteta's going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
What, Arsenal?
Yeah.
Of course he is. Because they're not going to get rid of him, because it's easy to keep him there. He finishes 2nd, 3rd, 4th every season. He's the new Wenger, as long as you finish in top 4. The only difference is Wenger had the pressure of the brand new stadium and having no money at all. I don't think there's another manager in the world that could have done what Wenger did, and the shit he got for it, I think, is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. With what he did, with what he got. But they're going to keep Arteta because he gets top 4. He's back in the Champions League. That's all they're asked about, isn't it? Bringing the money in.
Yep. But yeah, Nunes he did a fantastic job at Wolves. He wasn't given chance at Tottenham, let's be honest.
No.
And I think he's doing an amazing job at Forest. I just think he's one of the most underappreciated, underrated coaches of the of the Premier League, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I seriously hope they finish in the Champions League spots. Really do.
I'd like to see him.
I think most will. Fans would like to see it different.
They're inoffensive, aren't they, Forest? The fans are inoffensive.
They're a heritage club as well.
Yeah, but the fans are not offensive. The club is not offensive. They don't do anything that's offensive. They're just
I
kind
always
of
remember him as a kid, growing up, where you got like Steve Stone and Roy Keane,
Ian
and
Wone.
Stuart
What a player he is.
Pearce.
Stuart Pearce
Mark
as well.
Croswell.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You mean Crosley,
Crosley, sorry. Yeah.
the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
He was a big imposing unit in one.
Keeper.
He's a very good goalkeeper.
He's one of those that's underrated because he was what I call the Brad Friedel effect. Though Brad Friedel is like the pinnacle of it. He wasn't phenomenal at anything, but he was very good at everything.
It's another player I'm thinking of.
just
Pineapple Head.
What?
You're on about Jason Lee. aren't
That's the one, Jason Lee.
I knew as soon as he said it, I knew where he was going with it. Jason Lee.
Yeah.
But yeah, clubs.
Pineapple Head.
I mean, obviously,
That used to be a chant. You've got a pineapple on your head.
Stuart Pearce will probably be the best player to ever. Stan
Oh
Collymore?
no! Boots by Mitre, shirt by Umbro, hair by Del Monte.
Yeah.
That was the.
Was
one.
Collymore at?
Yes, Collymore was there.
Collymore was at Forest for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, great team. But they are a legacy team.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. They're one of the biggest clubs historically in English football, mainly because of the 2 European titles.
Well, it's all because of Brian Clough, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Every bit of it's because of Brian Clough, but then, what a guy.
I mean, it's the
What a guy
stories,
Brian
isn't
Clough
it?
was. He's just brilliant, though, isn't he? I wouldn't say I was the best manager in the
It's
world,
like-
but I'm in the top one.
Was it like Alan Shearer
What
said
a
the
statement.
first time he saw him, he was playing against, like Shearer was playing against Forest, so Brian Clough kicked him in the tunnel before the game, like kicked him in the ankle just to hurt him.
Wow.
Yeah. Because he knew he was the danger man.
Yeah.
So, let's move on to the next one. On Thursday, we had West Ham 2, Leicester 0.
Yeah.
What an absolute shit show Leicester are.
I mean, Leicester are poor, aren't they? But this is what I was just saying about Marino scoring 2 against them. It's not really that big a deal. It's like saying someone's the best fucking actor in Towie. It's just not that difficult to perform well against a shocking side.
I mean, Wolves are still
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not
pretty
going
much in the chance of getting dragged into this relegation. They're only 5 points clear at the moment, but Ipswich
I
and
think
Leicester.
I think your bottom three.
But I think that's it. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
100%.
However, my question, I've got one question and one question only.
For both of us or one of us?
Just for Jim Jam.
Just for Jim Jam.
Oh, you're going to get those 2 points.
Well, it needs to be free, really. No good
It's
equal in
it's
it.
just made the question harder. Are you going to get the 3 points?
I want to say yes. I
What have
just
you got?
don't know where.
9 games left.
I'm hoping it's
38,
Leicester.
yeah.
We've
9
got to
games
play Leicester.
11 games there.
So you're hoping you're going to beat Leicester?
Yeah.
I mean, under normal circumstances, I would say anybody's going to beat Leicester. However,
Leicester are going to be thinking, oh, at least we're going to beat Southampton because everybody.
I think Leicester are going into that game thinking at least we're not going to concede. I don't even think Leicester are thinking we're going to win it. I think Leicester are thinking at least we're not going to get slapped.
That's why I think we need to sack the manager.
I mean, I can't even fucking deny. I can't even say no.
And you know what? I'd pay the money and take Danny Rowe from Sheffield Wednesday.
Would he want it? Do you think?
Yes, I think he probably would take it.
Because of the stature increase, like, because obviously Saints are more likely to come back up than
Sheffield Wednesday, yeah. They're more likely to go up. When you talk about big club, you'd probably say Sheffield Wednesday are a bigger club, but there is more chance of Southampton going back up. And, you know, he knows the club as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was assistant manager there under Hasselhoetel.
Mm.
So, I think it'd be a good
Do you think
fit.
it might just be a case of hold on to him till the end of the season, then fuck him off, or do you think you should start a rebuild now?
I think it'd be good to, if they had a plan and they were like, right, we're going to have to pay the money to get him anyway, I'd just do it now and just get him, and then he can at least look at some of the players and go, right, are
Look
you
at the
staying
rebuild.
this? Are
Yeah.
you staying next season, etc.? He just can't be our manager next season. Or I'd just sack him and let Rust. I think it's Rust. I want to say Rust. Take over till the end of the season.
Okay.
Because they've just appointed him from the reserves or under 21s or whatever up to the first team set up now anyway. Henrik Kraft resigned as well during the week. That kind of got reported on social media and all over everywhere before the official announcement come on, because he resigned on, like, I think it was Company's House or something. So obviously it says all the directors and stuff like that. So on that Company's House, somebody spotted that Henrik Kraft resigned as Southampton director. So it was like, okay, but the club haven't actually announced it. And then about 2 days later, the club announced the fact that he'd stepped down. But that's like the chairman gone, director of football gone, everything. So I think it goes as deep down as Sports Republic have got a lot to answer for at the moment, our owners, because they're just making mistake after mistake after mistake. And it goes back to a couple of seasons ago. They sacked Hasselhoetel and they brought in fucking Nathan Jones.
That was weird.
A disaster.
That was a weird one, that was. Don't think he's listening.
No.
I think he's away with the fairies.
And then whoever
I'm not.
else.
I'm paying attention to a score line.
Oh,
Is that on now, is it?
It
Yeah.
is. And I'm actually reading the transcript, that's all. Sorry.
yeah. So it's just something needs to change. I know that a lot of the fan base are like Sports Republic out now, so it's not necessarily manager out. They're going all the way to the top, like they want the owners out.
Yeah.
Because they're just getting the decisions wrong. You know, the whole transfer strategy was completely wrong. The manager change was completely wrong. At the end of the day, what's happened is they've made a complete cock-up. They might well have kept Russell Martin, because at least he knows the league next year. And I did say that before. If we're going to get relegated, we might as well stick with the manager. They're going to fight for it.
To be
but
fair, he did do a fantastic job for you last season. I think the stubbornness of not wanting to change your style you suffered with that. However, the problem you've got is we're going through this whole moment now of you think you should have stuck with him knowing that you were going to get relegated.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pressure from fans to not get relegated. So I think the club basically, rather than go, okay, we are going to get relegated, but we've got a good coach in charge who knows the way. He'll get us back up. Not a problem. Let's just grind this season out, take a bit of money in, start again. They've hit the panic button because the fans are all screaming because laughing stock of the Premier League. And you've gone in there and they've basically hit the panic button, boom, sacked him. Shit, who do we get? Then they've looked at some guy who can't hold a fucking job in Italy and gone, he'll do the job! Bang. And there was plenty of other potential managers. Now, at the time, I remember you saying, I wish we'd got Van Nistelrooy. I bet you don't wish that now. And I thought that was a weird statement. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think the owners are necessarily to blame. And this whole immediate, Man United is sucking, fuck the Glazers, get your green and yellow scarves out. It's stupidity. It is ludicrous. And now they're all having a go at, what's his name who stepped in, Sir fucking what?
Jim Ratcliffe.
I was waiting for the actual name he was going to come up with,
couldn't
and you
remember.
ruined that. That could have been hilarious.
The thing is, Jim Ratcliffe has come in and he's looked and gone, why are we paying Alex Ferguson $2 million a year? Why? What are we actually...
Right, I get that.
Hang on.
I get that.
I'm
behind that
And then
decision.
he's looked at like other players who are like Brian Robson. And he's gone, why are we paying him $750
I
grand
get
a year?
that.
Now, all the Man United fans are currently kicking off about this.
No, I get that.
But ultimately, I get it.
It's the rest of the shit I don't...
Let me get to that. I get the idea of going into a club, looking at your books and going, shit, we got a lot of fucking money hemorrhaging here. Why are we spending $7 million a year on people who don't even work for us? Not work for us and do things. Just people who are here.
Kind of like ambassador
Ferguson-
role.
Ferguson-
They're basically there for
Ferguson did nothing.
meet and greet or whatever.
Alex Ferguson didn't do anything. He turned up to games.
Do you want to just put some context on that?
What?
Alex Ferguson did nothing once he'd retired from
Yes.
managing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Because you're going to have people slagging you off for
course,
that.
yeah.
I might just
No.
clip that bit, actually. Just him over there going, Alex Ferguson did nothing. Just to see how many comments I get.
But the truth is, after he retired, what did he do?
Yeah, nothing. You're right.
Yeah.
Now
He
you've
turns-
added after he
Yeah.
retired.
So he turns up to all the games, and they're paying him £2 million a year.
That's got to be like, do you know, you get...
I'll turn up to Man United games for $1 million a year.
I'd turn up there for £100 a week. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Extra money's extra money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's be
So
honest.
I get why he started doing that. When he started doing the silly things like cutting people's fucking holidays, wages, meals, and all that shit.
The meals.
It's a little bit too
Taking
far.
the credit cards
Yeah.
off people. What is it? A couple of grand? Mate, seriously, what are you doing with your life?
That's silly.
Right, I
But-
think what we're going to do is we're going to get a break. 'Cause we've overrun a bit. And then we'll come back and we'll just start again in the second half
Okay.
as soon as we
Yeah,
come
yeah.
again. So we shall see you lovely people very shortly. Hello and welcome back from the break to part 2. Now what we normally do is we'll start this by going into our game, which I already know without looking you've got at least one score right.
Was
I
it
d-
the
I d-
Leeds one?
It was the Leeds one,
Yeah, I
but I don't know
thought
about the
so.
goal score. There you go.
No,
What have
because
you
I
got?
said Barrett and Diaz. So.
You did say Diaz, but you did also say 3-1. You said 2-0 and James, so that's not a thing.
Yeah.
I said 2-2 and James with 2, also not a thing. So you get
5
3
points.
points.
Five
No,
points.
5 for the correct score. 5
Yeah.
for the correct score, 3 for the scorer, wasn't it? So you get 5 points on that one. And then what I'll do is I'll quickly nip to Daryl. Someone that actually listens to us. Crazy lunatic. He said 1-1 and Pirro, so he does get 3 points for the correct scorer.
Yeah.
Because Pirro did score. So, the next one was Chelsea versus Saints. Which the score was?
4-0.
4-0. Tin said 2-0. You were being very generous.
I was, wasn't I?
Fernandez scorer. Did Fernandez score?
No.
No.
Okay. You said 7-0.
I was close.
So I said you get a bonus point if you weren't close. I was close. And you said Palmer would score. Did Palmer score?
No.
No.
Right. I said 5-0, so I genuinely was quite
Yeah.
close. And I said Jackson would score, and I'm fairly certain he didn't.
He didn't even play.
Yeah, he didn't even get on pitch. So nobody gets any points for that one. Right, so Arteta FC Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest.
You might as well just say no points all round.
Yeah,
Unless
'cause we
Darryl
won't-
said 0-0 and no goal scorer.
That's a good point, actually. Darryl said Chelsea 2, Southampton 0 with Palmer, so no points. Forest 0, Arsenal 2 with Gabriel.
Yeah.
So, again, no points. So, he gets 3 points for Pirro. You get 5 points for a correct result.
Yeah.
And that basically means
That's it.
that if I start a new one, I'm just decided I'm just going to keep everything on my phone now, because it doesn't matter whether I've got the book on it. So, we've got Tin,
Neil what?
Stretch, Jim, and Daryl, which I spell with an M because I'm a fucking idiot.
New spelling.
Apparently so, yeah. So we're going to start. So Tim's got none. I realised we've got some before. I also realised that I had quite a good week at one point, but never mind. Jim starts with 5, and Daryl starts with 3.
I'm okay to start again.
Yeah, I'll bet you are, yeah. I should, if I find the book, I'm adding them. No, I'm not really. I'll leave it. So, yeah. So, basically,
We've only just
that's not the
begun.
book I was using. It was a little one. So, yeah, basically, we'll start it from this week. So, you're in the lead with 5, Daryl second with 3, and me and Tin Ribs will share the 0-0 disappointment. So, I think what we need to do now is we need to work out another 3 games for the week incoming. So, Tin of the Ribs, you have your phone out. Can you give us a game, please?
So Saturday we have a couple of options to start with. But if we start with our wonderful Southampton team, we have Liverpool versus Southampton.
Liverpool at home.
Yes.
I already think this is going to be fucking painful for you. I'm sorry, but... Oh, Jesus. Right, so Tin Ribs, can you give us a score, please?
6-0.
6 fucking... No.
Salah hat-trick.
Oh, okay. So, we're going to go with bonus point for hat-trick. In fact, I'll give you 3 bonus points because it's a hat-trick. 3 times bonus points for a hat-trick. Jim of the Jam, score please. Don't be too ridiculous.
I'll stick with 7.
I knew he was going for the 7.
I really wanted to say 8, but I'm going to stick with 7.
7-0. Goal scorer,
You've got to say Salah, haven't you?
Salah.
Shall I say Salah 4 goals for 4 bonus points?
Do you actually want to stick with that?
Hold on,
4
if Salah
goals.
doesn't get a hat-trick, does he not get it?
Yeah, I've got to get the hat-trick to get the 3
No,
points.
I'm not being serious with the 4 goals. He probably will now.
He'll get the 3 points for Salah, but he won't get the 3 bonus points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you put 4, you'll get the 3 for him
Yeah.
scoring, but you won't get the 4 for
Yeah.
him getting 4 goals.
yeah.
It's fucking lunacy, by the way.
How many are you going with and how many Salah going to score?
Stretch is like 5, 6.
10!
I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna really upset you now. Actually,
9.
no, I'm gonna go for 4-0. Nunes hat trick.
Fucking hell. That's fucking wishful
Hey, if you're gonna put yourself out there, you might as well be far out there. Nunes hat trick. Next game, please.
So then we go to 12 o'clock on Sunday. Portsmouth Leeds.
Portsmouth v Leeds. Tin Ribs, score please.
3-0.
I'm just going to assume that's Leeds. Goal scorer?
Pirro.
Again.
Mm,
You know he scored a lot, right? So
he's our top scorer. And I think against teams like Portsmouth, he's a little bit more free roaming. I think he'll
Jim
do
of
more.
the Jam. It's a good job this is an
4-0.
audio medium.
4-0, Pirro.
4-0.
I heard an interesting stat yesterday when I was watching the West Brom game.
Yeah.
And it was of the 11 players started, only 2 of them haven't scored in the last 5 games or something this season. And it was like
Jesus.
the entire front 5 had scored goals in the last 5 games or something stupid.
Yeah.
But the only 2 people who haven't scored was Meslier and Rodon.
Now
Meslier
Meslier
has
has scored
tried.
now.
Yeah.
Like, technically scored a
Not
goal.
4.
He scored a goal. I am going to go for 3-1. Just to be different. And Bamford. No, I'm only joking.
still on the injury bench.
I'm going to go for... Is James playing at the minute?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Dan James.
It's one of our
again.
best players.
Right, next result, please. Next game, not result. Next
Manchester United, Arsenal.
game. Oh, fucking hell. This is what I'm not looking forward to. Man U versus Arsenal. Tin Rips, can I have a score, please?
1-1.
Fair. 1-1. Scorer.
Fernandes.
Fernandes.
Yep.
Right, for bonus point.
Penalty.
I was
what I
going to
was
say
waiting
that for the bonus point, you prick.
I knew that's what you were thinking because you said
Yeah.
Fernandes. And Arsenal give loads of fucking penalties away.
And also Fernandes has just equalised. Not
Yeah.
equalised a little, about 10 minutes ago for Man United.
Okay. Score, please. Jim Jam.
2-2.
Desmond. Okay. Goal scorer, please.
I was going to say Fernandes for the penalty.
Fernandes.
Before you gave him a
Okay.
chance, I was like, I'm going to say Fernandes penalty.
Yeah.
I am going to go for 2-0 to Man United.
Wow.
And where's our goals coming from?
Man United are just poor.
Anana.
No, on goal.
That's where the Arsenal goals are coming from.
Wow.
Anana.
My goal scorer is going to be...
Riot own goal.
I could see it happening. I am going to go for...
Harry Maguire.
Maguire's the name that popped into my head. I'm going to go for a Maguire header.
It's a good shout, to be fair. He is,
Maguire header.
especially on set pieces, he's dangerous.
Yeah, he's a good goal. Just can't defend for shit, but he's a good goal scorer, is it? So yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. 2-0 Man United, Maguire with header. Because I have all the faith in the world in Mikel Arteta and friends. And it reminds me a lot of Thomas the Tank Engine and friends, to be honest. Arsenal at the moment, fucking full of shit. Anyway, where were you at the end of part 1?
Just on about...
We're in mid-flow.
Yes, we're on about the reshaping of things. And I think there's certain aspects of when you're financing that you look at and you can justify. And then there's other areas that you just can't. And I just think that Ratcliffe has got all the right intentions in righting the ship. But I think some of his actions have been questionable.
Yeah. I agree.
And the only thing that's making me laugh even further is they're pretty much getting ready to get out the yellow and green scarves again, but for Ratcliffe this time. And it's just like, they can't be happy. Do you know what I mean? They literally brought in a new sporting director, paid a lot of money to get him there. He's gone. They just can't seem to organise. There's so much wrong at Manchester United that I don't even think new ownership would solve it at some point. And now all you hear is the Man United fans going, we need Saudi money. We want a big corporation, a big Saudi nation or Qatar to come in and rescue us. And it's just jealousy. It's because they were a great institution long before the Glazers got there. They were probably the biggest club in the world. Outside of Real Madrid and Barcelona, let's be honest. Those two are massive.
Yeah, certainly one.
But the thing that makes me laugh is they keep talking about having no money, and yet every year they still revenue more money than Liverpool and Tottenham combined. I would love to read their financial records because fuck me, that must be a shit show.
It's got to be horrendous, isn't it?
If you're generating that much money, you are one of the biggest
meals.
clubs in the world,
Cutting meals.
and they're having to cut staff meals. Absolutely bonkers.
It's just, I don't understand any of it.
It makes no sense.
I don't understand one part of it.
No.
Like why there was there was a post going round with a picture from Marcus Rashford, and it said, "Please come back and sort the free school meals out for the Man United staff because they've just lost them all," which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But why would you cut meals and credit cards and stuff for the lower end staff that aren't getting that money? When you're probably saving what, $100,000 a year total over everything.
Yeah.
When you could literally ask all the players to take a 5% wage cut and you'll save millions.
Yeah.
And why? Because players don't give a fuck about the club anymore. How many players actually care about the club they play for?
Probably not that many.
15? Maybe in the top flight?
Probably because I'd get paid too much money.
Definitely get paid too much money.
Mm.
That's for damn sure.
So that's what's going wrong. If they can't afford the staff and all the stuff, then they need to sort out the money of what players earn.
Yeah. The wages have got too... It's become too mercenary now.
Yeah, 100%. Because when you've got people like Kevin De Bruyne that sat down without an agent and thrashed out, as they said, a $450,000 a week contract. £450,000 a week. Let's put that into fucking context.
It's just...
That's insane.
Yeah.
A week. Like, people with good jobs, it takes them 10 years to earn that. And that's with a decent job. And he's earning that every week. Like, what are we doing here? Oh, we need to cut your meals. I'd be like, are you fucking shitting me?
For the guy that's on minimum wage.
The guy that's sweeping the fucking halls and keeping the place clean to keep the players fucking safe. But you can't eat here anymore because we need to pay him £3 million a month. Are you fucking serious? Like, what is going on with the world? Like, are you telling me Man United are meant to... I mean, have you seen the stadium?
Falling apart.
Fucking... It's flooded. It's rat infested.
Yeah.
It's fucking falling down. And they're cutting meals.
Oh, I should have bet on the Rat to score.
Should have bet on the Rat. Wow. Now that's a statement and a half, isn't it? Come on, Roland. Let's get it done. Fucking Jesus. A statement and a half, that is, pal.
Oh, no, we did say the Rat to score.
Oh, Fernandez. Wow. Yeah, I don't agree with what United are doing. I don't agree with how it's happening. I don't agree with how they've left the stadium to just go dilapidated. Honestly, the whole thing is just an absolute shit show. And worldwide now, they're looking fucking stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're looking really, really stupid. And genuinely like they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
And I can't see how United are going to pull this back and become the United that they were.
No.
They're not.
Because there's so much that needs doing there now, including an entire stadium either rebuild or move, like Everton have done, or a rebuild like Tottenham did. But they're going to need somewhere. I mean, I don't know if you've been to Old Trafford.
I've been to Old
There's
Trafford.
not a huge amount of wiggle room there. There really isn't much wiggle room. Like, if they want to knock it down and rebuild it. So I imagine it would require a move, in which case that would more than likely be out of Old Trafford. So they would be housed somewhere completely different. Would it be the same Man United if they were in Old Trafford? Like, if you were actually in Manchester for a change?
Well, if they actually moved them to Manchester, yeah.
I don't see it working, to be honest. I don't think they'll ever be the powerhouse that they were.
financially they still have the ability to be. I think they need a major restructuring in not just the players, but like the development staff. Who's their sporting director? Who's bringing in who's raising the next generation? Everything. It's just, you don't hear about Class of 92 style anymore. There's not that development program.
No.
I think Man United are not run with the same ethos. Should we use that term?
Yeah.
There was
It
a mentality, an ethos there that Alex Ferguson brought to that club.
There's no fear anymore either. You don't.
No.
Clubs don't fear going to Old Trafford.
The only reason I fear going there this week is because we're shit.
Yeah.
Not because they're good.
Whereas most clubs, say in the 90s, you didn't want to go to Old Trafford.
They didn't even want to stand in the tunnel.
The only reason you fear going to Old Trafford these days is you might become a victim of the falls. I'm wet.
Can you imagine if you can't swim as a footballer going there? You're in trouble, aren't you? Because it is pretty bad. Although the weather's getting
I
better,
do have
so
to
they might
say,
be all right
putting
now.
a waterfall in a library was very brave.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought Arsenal was meant to be the library.
You ever been to Old Trafford?
Yes.
It's fucking dead.
I used to live near Old Trafford.
And it's
So I used
a
to
bit
live in
like
Salford.
Anfield. Once they finish playing You'll Never Walk Alone through the speakers and the fans are shut up, they have to start playing the crowd noises through the amphitheatre because it's a library. It's shit.
Well, apparently according to Klopp, the atmosphere's shite there.
Exactly. Their own manager said how the
He
atmosphere
said
was
it-
shit.
He said it a couple of times. He also said the grass was too long and the wind was too windy.
Yeah, but when your own
You
manager
can't
turns around and
start
said the
'cause
atmosphere
your
is
manager
shit.
comes up with all sorts of shit.
We've been through this. We don't have a manager.
Yeah.
We have a coach that's been
Yeah.
put in charge.
Yeah.
But like
That's
say,
why he's making excuses.
What makes
'cause
me
he
laugh
can't
is
do the job.
you always see these things on Facebook. Anfield has the best atmosphere in English football. Really?
It's
Because
not.
your own manager is talking about how shit the atmosphere is.
Well, I personally find some of the best atmospheres in England are at the lower league anyway. Because
Well-
them fans don't shut up.
No. Like I said, I like Loftus Road. It's a tense atmosphere.
Never been there.
Really good. Really good.
Never been to
I
Loftus Road.
recommend it.
Been to Wrexham. Quite enjoyed that one.
I haven't been there.
Well, I
Um,
will say that when I was watching the Southampton-Chelsea game, even though we were getting spanked 4-0, the only fans you could hear on the TV was still the Southampton fans.
singing.
We're
Anything,
And
how
we
much
know
shit
we are.
must you be? You've only scored 4 or whatever.
That's the chant I heard. How shit are you? You've only scored 4.
Yeah.
That's the one I heard. Brilliant.
shit. Yeah.
You've got to hand it to him.
But they're
Brilliant.
still singing from start
Or
to finish.
you're nothing special. We lose every week. That's
Yeah.
another one. There's some brilliant
Yeah.
chants. It's yeah. I mean, I do. It's bad, isn't it? And then you go to these, but then it's all like tourist football now, anyway. Isn't it?
Yeah.
You look around, it's all tourists. In
I
the
tell you what,
stadiums.
one of the shittest ones were West Brom.
Stretch.
Fuck me.
Stop hitting the
I
stand
know. I've
with your
just
phone.
thought it.
You've hit it
it's-
about 8 times.
I haven't hit it 8 times. Surely.
I can hear
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I'll
West
listen to it
Brom
later.
was pretty dire. I thought Everton was shit as well.
I've not been to the Hawthorns.
Um,
So shall we move on to the Friday anyway? Because we haven't even caught up with the weekend yet. So Sunderland beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 in the Championship, and Aston Villa kicked off the FA Cup stuff with a 2-0 win against Cardiff. Pretty much expected. Yesterday we had the shit show that was Leeds West Brom.
Right, let's talk about that then. Let's not gloss over it because we
Do we have
torture him when he's getting slapped up every week. So now,
So we scored. We piled on the pressure straight away. We scored within 9 minutes. Everything was good, and then right at the back end of the game, first half they had a set piece, and we defended like a chocolate fire guard.
wow, pretty good then.
Yeah, they scored, and then for the rest of the game, we piled on the pressure with about as much enthusiasm as a limbless body trying to swim.
So they just weren't in it then.
No, we couldn't do anything from that point. West Brom.
Oh, hello.
Hello, visitor.
Oh,
We've got a visitor. We've got your cat visiting us.
Jim Jam now has a friend.
Yeah,
Yep.
So
You now look like that guy in James Bond.
I know, yeah. This is what this
Fifi,
chair's
you've
all
just-
about.
You've just rattled that spring.
This is
You
now
might-
the star of the show.
Yeah. So that's my cat. But yeah, it was what West Brom do best.
I'm getting clawed as well.
They draw. It was boring. It wasn't particularly good. It was a draw. Yeah. Yay, oh yay.
Well, I would like to special mention Macclesfield.
Macclesfield, yeah.
They played Matlock Town at home and won 1-0.
Which extended your lead to now 23 points.
Yeah, it's getting a bit ridiculous, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's a bit crazy. Played 34, won 27, drawn 4 and lost 3 in 34 games. That's insane.
Yeah.
Certainly at that level. And seriously, to put in that sort of performance week in, week out is incredible. Has she settled now?
Yeah.
She's settled now.
I'm not getting clawed anymore.
So
I'm quite happy.
It's called pudgeoning, but I'll let you off.
So, yes, we wasted the opportunity to have 78 points and extend the gap, but Sheffield United went to Loftus Road and won 2-1, so they've brought the gap back down to 3 points.
That's where Brereton Diaz scored, by the way.
I know.
But, I mean, to be fair, you're still 3 points clear. 35 games. What, 11 left?
Yeah. No.
Worst case scenario is you don't win the league, Sheffield United win the league. I can't see you dropping below third. I can't see
The top two are the top two.
boring
13
Burnley
games.
getting anywhere.
13 games left, I think.
Right, call it now. Who's going up in the playoffs?
Playoffs. Ooh.
Who's going up in the playoffs? Call it now.
Right now, you'd say Coventry.
Okay. Playoffs?
Coventry literally have those three. If they beat them, I would go Coventry, but as it stands, I'm going Sunderland.
I'm going to go Burnley because I think they're just going to choke the life out of every fucker, just like you did last year.
No, I think Sunderland.
I think Burnley just because I think they're going to do a Saints.
Yeah.
And just destroy any game they're part of to the point where even the opponents fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because that was an awful final. I just wanted a reason to bring it up again. How shit it was. But yeah, I think Burnley. So we'll see.
Yeah. So the FA Cup. I really want to talk about this one.
Are we talking about Michael Oliver's brilliant officiating?
Yes.
Again.
So Crystal Palace Millwall. I mean,
He shouldn't have been red carded. He should have been escorted off with the police.
I mean, never a true word spoken.
I mean, it
That would
reminded
be
me of
funny in a
Daniel
game, wouldn't
LaRusso.
it, if you got arrested on the pitch?
Yeah, that was like Daniel LaRusso in the Karate Kid finale.
Wow.
The
I mean, it's not far
minor
off, to
amount
be
of
fair.
contact he got with the ball. So you look at how his leg's gone through. When he makes contact with the ball before it gets to head height, that ball should have been sailing miles away. The fact it barely skimmed 3 feet away, and then he boots him clean in the fucking head, was, yeah.
I will say from what I've heard that Mateta is okay and conscious, but probably will miss the rest of the season.
Yeah.
That is a horrific injury, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a...
How can you look at that? Like, I've been slagging
He's
Michael
pretty
Oliver off
close.
for a while.
He's pretty close to it as well.
Oh,
pretty
there's no
close.
obstruction. There's absolutely no
No,
obstruction
he's looking
visually.
directly at it, what looks like.
I've been saying for a while now, people have think that I'm slagging Michael Oliver off because he's shit against Arsenal, but I think he's just a shit official. And that, for me, proves it hands down. If you haven't got the balls to make that a red card decision immediately, then the problem is with you.
I mean, VAR is there, so if he'd have got it wrong, they could have reverted the decision.
Well, that's what happened, isn't it? Because he gave the yellow and not the red, they reversed his yellow.
Yeah.
But that then shows that he hasn't got the balls to make the proper decision.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think as a ref, you should be making that hard decision and then being corrected if you're wrong. But don't go... He was quick enough to send off Lewis Skelly
Yeah.
immediately, which was then rescinded. But he's not brave enough to give him a red card for literally, as you say, LaRusso-ing him in the face.
Mate, it was.
It was fucking awful. I mean, how high was he off the ground? He literally kicked him in the face.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. How can you not send somebody off for that? I mean, I heard it on the radio. And I'll be honest with you.
Well, I was on the phone to you and said, "Did you see?"
Yeah, and then I heard them. I turned the radio
you
on.
watched it.
And I heard it on
while
the
we were
radio,
on
and
the
I'm
phone.
like, that it just, for me, if he gets the ball first, it's not foul, and that's what I'm thinking in my head. Because all I heard on the radio was he got the ball first, but he's caught him in the face. And I'm like, I'm thinking they're sliding on the floor because they didn't really explain it on the radio properly.
No.
And I'm like, well, if he's got the ball first, then tough. He's got the ball first.
He did get the
and then
ball
I watched
first.
it, and I'm like, I don't care how many times you get the ball first, that's a foul. And that's a red card. That is the definite red card. The radio missed off so many important parts to this story. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you were a bit speechless.
I didn't realise he was still at head height when he got kicked in the head.
It made that time I kicked that lad in the head and put it out for a throw in.
Wow.
It made that look like a fucking.
That happened, by the way.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
It made that look like a minor.
I don't know what's come up there.
Like you know the sort of, oh no, just play on. He won the ball, and I did get booked for that because I literally drop kicked the kid in the face. But the fact of the matter is, mine looked nowhere near as bad as that.
Yeah.
And the fact that Oliver didn't even initially do anything about it was just
insane. Insane. Because that, in anybody's language, that is a red card, and then maybe go to VAR, and VAR just look
for
and go,
me.
yeah, it's fine.
That's a straight red with a review for dangerous play, and when they sort of like go, right, so you've got your 5 game, but we think it was an 8 game ban. That's where that is for me.
I'm shocked the police haven't got involved with that, because that is assault in its finest fucking form. Imagine a cricketer doing that. I know it's slightly different because the sport's different, but
as
do
he's
you know what I
running
mean,
to
though?
the crease,
As
he
he's running to the
decides to
crease,
jump.
just drop kick.
It's the wicket keeper running out and booting him straight in the face. That's giving you a great image, isn't it? But honestly, that is imprisonment. Surely it's fucking ridiculous. It's the worst challenge I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know if you can call it a
Honestly,
challenge.
You don't even see that shit in UFC.
You don't. They're more respectful than that. That was ridiculous. He's got studs. He's got fucking studs. He's got booted him in the face. No, I'm sorry. I'm not. No.
Yeah, it was bad. Nketiah scored another great goal.
I haven't seen the goal, but I have seen that he scored.
It's headed across, and as it's coming across him, he's headed it back the other way, leaving the keeper with absolutely no chance.
Oh, so it was a good finish.
Oh yeah, it's a great finish.
I thought you were being Sarky.
No.
Nketiah.
Nketiah was really good. He had a really good game.
Yeah.
Preston absolutely obliterated Burnley.
Yeah.
I saw that. Hadn't Burnley not conceded this year?
They've conceded like 9 goals the whole season, and then they conceded 3.
3 in one game, yeah. They got
Who was in goal?
battered.
Was it Trafford?
No, it wasn't Trafford. They did
Their
make
other
some.
guy.
They made some changes,
Yeah.
but I won't lie, they didn't play well.
No.
Esteve, is it?
Yeah.
Esteve, the centre back, awful. Now keep in mind he's pretty much the linchpin of their defence normally. Terrible game, absolutely horrendous. So they swapped out 2 defenders. Shelvey played, he was fucking dire. Brownhill played, Foster up front, they were just dire. Benson played, awful. But yeah, they didn't look good. They brought on Barnes, he didn't do anything. Yeah, it was a very poor performance, to be honest. And it's not like that they sort of did like the wholesale change. Oh, we're out the FA Cup, but it's okay because we made, like when Leeds went out, and it's like we made 11 changes.
Yeah.
No, sorry, we made was it 9 or 10 changes? I think Burnley made 5-6 changes at most. So it wasn't like they made complete changes. They played the same game they always play and got beat soundly. So
Probably a good thing. Right, Bournemouth won, Wolves won with a sending off.
I only saw highlights, but it looked like a good game.
Yeah, I saw the highlights. Again, seemed like it was quite entertaining. Quite good. Bournemouth obviously went through
I mean, the performance,
eventually.
The thing that I like was the fact that on FOTMob, Sam Johnson got man of the match. I don't know if he actually got man of the match. But when you look at the stats, Bournemouth had 67% possession, 31 shots, 10 on target.
That's insane, isn't it? I mean, they did, when was the man sent
Yeah.
off? Do we know what minute he was sent off in?
Yeah. He was sent off in the 120th minute.
Oh, right. So
Right before
basically
penalties.
he'd been on the whole game, basically. So it's not like Bournemouth were against 10 men from like the 10th minute.
No.
It
was
had
Cunha.
so many shots.
It's Cunha.
Jesus, he scored the goal, didn't he? Cunha?
Yes.
And then we had the joy of Plymouth taking the lead against Man City,
I know.
which we all liked. Rooney must have been absolutely thrilled at that point.
But yeah, it was a shame. But the second half, Man City turned it up.
Yeah, they did. It was kind of expected,
It was inevitable.
wasn't it? Really.
It was. As
But fair play to them for putting a fight up. You know, they scored a goal. They give the fans something to cheer.
It was their only shot, may I add.
And it went in, so fair play to them. Right, we had today's games. We're going to whiz through them because we're actually over again.
Okay, so very quickly then.
United 2, Leicester City 0. No, sorry, I'm on the wrong
Newcastle
thing now. Just
United
ignore me.
1. Brighton in extra time with a Danny Welbeck goal, 2-1.
Welbeck again, 114th minute. It's pretty good. Now
We've
got
two red
United and
cards.
Fulham are currently
Can we just
playing.
go with 2 red cards?
Yeah,
So
one each.
Anthony Gordon got sent off in the 83rd minute for an absolutely horrendous tackle.
Yeah.
Goodbye. And Lamptey, why he...
Oh, second yellow.
But it's one of those moments where if you're already on a yellow, don't
let him
throw
go.
yourself in. You just gotta let him go. And he threw himself in, and the second he put the foot in, you're like, yeah, he's gone. It was stupid.
He's lucky because Newcastle actually had a disallowed goal after that as well.
Yes.
Straight after that.
He was offside though.
He was?
Yeah, but it was like, yeah.
Like, how close was that to you getting sent off and then immediately losing the game for your team?
Yeah. And that's literally what it was. So, yeah, lucky boy.
So, yeah, he got very lucky with that, with the offside, like. And then Welbeck went and scored the winner at the end. United are currently playing against Fulham. It's 1-1. Fernandes.
Yeah.
Not a penalty, by the way. And Bassi scored in first half.
Yeah.
And it looks like that one's going to penalties, which we might as well watch now.
Well, it's going into extra time, so...
Well, they're on 94th minute, I think.
Yeah, so there's another 15 minutes.
How much time's added on?
No, this is extra time, mate. They've gone into
I
extra
thought they
time.
went straight to penalties.
No.
No.
Extra time.
Okay.
You do realise we've just had a conversation about Welbeck
Scoring in extra time.
Right, okay, so yeah, we're going to get a break anyway. Hello and welcome to part 3. This is the interesting bit, the less interesting bit, the whatever way people want to look at it.
I thought last week was quite interesting with the whole... but you turned out to be the weirdo.
He is a weirdo.
I turned out to be the weirdo, even though you two are absolute freaks. And it turns out that I'm actually the odd one out here, which I still stand by the fact that I don't fucking understand how that works, by the way. But yeah, does anybody have anything they want to talk about this week?
It's not that.
Yours has been fairly non-eventful, hasn't it, really? It's just been kind of
My week
steady.
My week's been literally nothing to report. I haven't been able to coach. I haven't been able to play football. I've pretty much not done anything. My life this week has been pretty boring. I mean, work was great. I had a good week at work, but yeah.
So you've had an uneventful week outside of work, and work has been pretty good.
Yeah, pretty much. I've got no complaints.
You're fucking boring this week. How's your week been?
My week has been absolutely horrendous, but
I
probably...
prefer his story.
Yeah, let's go into that.
But
prefer his story.
unfortunately, I can't really talk about it because it involves
Fucking boring.
solicitors and everything.
Boring.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so shall I sum this up for you? Knobhead 1 decided to talk to Knobhead 2. Knobhead 2 then transcripted to you some knobheadishness, to which you had to transcribe that to Knobhead 3, who works for you, and then you're in the middle of like some sort of knobheadishy thingy thing.
Oh, no, it's not even that far yet.
Oh my god.
Knobhead...
Jesus.
Knobhead 1 has spoke to Knobhead 2.
I don't know, because Knobhead... If I'm Knobhead 1...
No, you're not Knobhead 1. How did you get
if we
that you were Knobhead 1
If we got
in
to
that?
this situation, you're Knobhead 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you weren't even in that one.
One Neb hasn't responded to my knobhead. Yeah.
So Knobhead 3 has contacted Knobhead 1, who hasn't responded to you.
Right,
or
this
Knobhead
this
2.
is an audio medium, people. Right, this is going to lose people real fast.
I
know. Okay.
We know what's going on because we know the story. It's just going to confuse the shit out of people.
Yeah.
Let's just stick with you. Had a wank week and you
I've
don't
had
want
a
to talk
wank
about
week. I can't really talk about it, so that's...
it. I'm going to stick with don't want to because it makes you sound worse. But okay.
No, I'd love to, but no.
Is there anything that's happened in your week that you can talk about? I'm pushing him because I fucking know there is. He just doesn't want to say it.
I'm being invaded by the cat again.
Apart from the fact that you've been attacked by a cat again, who stuck his arms
Which
right
probably,
in the microphone.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, wonderful.
It's all right. Put your tail down.
Never
You
thought
can
I'd hear that
just push her
statement
off.
uttered by another man.
No, it's okay.
Do you want to talk about any of your week?
No.
How was work?
Work was good. Football was good.
Football wasn't good.
Football
was
was
it?
great.
Football wasn't good. You're fucking full of shit.
It
we
was
got beat
good.
7-1.
Yeah. And you had the extra player for 4 of them.
Who did?
You
Oh,
did.
the last 4.
The last 4
When we were
goals.
already getting smashed.
You were getting smashed 3-0, so we gave you an extra player, which then made us a player short, and then we
were
continued
already
to score,
screwed by that point. But
and then we went and scored another 4.
yeah, it was painful. Friday was painful. I literally just used it to see how far I could run. My average is 3.5-ish. I run 3.8 miles, so I was quite pleased with that.
I noticed you
it was
called
the-
for the ball a lot, but never came your way very often.
No, when it did come my way, it was generally overhit, so I couldn't reach it anyway. But I chased it just for the extra fitness.
I wouldn't pass to you anyway myself.
I know you're lying. See, 'cause I know you would, 'cause-
Goalkeeper issues, that was a biggest issue. People don't like to go in goal. They all go deaf when you shout keeper change.
I thought you
Yeah.
had goalkeepers.
No, we didn't have any goalkeepers. Well, Miller was there who tried to be. That
Yeah.
did not go
You
well.
know what? Normally
because
he's pretty solid.
he conceded 7.
Yeah, but hang on. I'm going to defend him here.
You know what? The 7 goals were well hit goals.
I'm going to
You'll
defend
be
him.
the only one that did fucking defend him.
That's what I'm
'Cause the
saying.
4 in front of him
That's
didn't
what I'm
bother.
saying, because I had that week
Yeah.
where me and Jove literally at one point lost our shit with everyone because nobody was putting any effort in. And what was it, 6-0 you beat us?
Yes.
Because me and Jove were the only 2 players outside of the 4 dickheads stood up front who were dribbling on themselves, who were actually doing anything.
didn't know we had got Harry Kane
Dribbling.
that week.
Fucking some of them are proper dribblers.
Yeah, my week's been interesting to say
Yeah.
the least. I've obviously recently split up with what was my other half, and she's not very happy with certain decisions that I've made,
No shit.
which you kind of back up.
Yes.
We both
Yeah.
back up.
I want to point out that everybody on the planet but you realizes that in this situation you're the asshole, and when advised in manners in which to be said asshole.
May have been. The thing is, certain things when you split up with someone just need fucking bringing out in the open, right? As far as I'm concerned.
no,
anyway.
there's timing. Not like straight away dropping a bomb and making things worse.
Well, it is what it is. There's certain things that just need doing for me personally. I'd rather just get it done and out of the way and deal with it and move
But
on.
the problem is when you've got literally, you go, I'm going to do this really stupid idea, and everybody in the room at the time goes, I really wouldn't. And then you go and do it anyway, and then go, all right, so I've gone tits up. I wonder why.
But I've not complained about it. I'm just like, it is what it is, and you deal with it. And you
There's
move
a
on.
little bit of complaining. Oh, she's doing it again. Oh, get it. Oh.
There's certain messages that are a bit, even you've gone to this is a bit far.
Yeah, but my point still stands that you
Possibly.
literally kicked the hornet's nest and went, I'm being stung.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can deal with stinging. It's just when it's pathetic that it just gets a bit much.
Yeah, but you're still to blame.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
And even when people were saying, maybe you should do things a little bit differently, you're like, I could, but we're fucking not going to.
When have I ever done anything the right way?
Yeah.
Ever? Like for anything? I've known you, 21 years now?
That's so ridiculous.
When have I
There
ever
are
done
regrets
anything the
in
right
that,
way? Never.
Yeah.
So I have one way, and that's my own. And I tend to do shit my own way. hasn't worked very well in this particular circumstances.
No,
I
it
kind
really
of understand why.
And you know what the best part is? This little bonfire is only the start of a raging inferno that's coming, and it doesn't matter how much we tell you that you're just like, I'm just going to stay into it.
Well, I'm thinking of buying some fuel.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of buying some fuel.
It's only going to get worse.
This is it is going to blow up. It's going to be so much worse than...
So we can't record the pod this week. Stretch is an A&E.
We can't record the pod this week or the next 3 because Stretch is now a vegetable.
Yeah, it is what it is. Fuck it. Oh, we'll just deal with it and move on. So have you got anything else you want to talk about, gentlemen? You need to get on Twitter, see if you've got any funnies.
No.
What? On Twitter.
What do you want? I don't know. Not a lot happens on Twitter.
You can't go into too much depth about what I can't really go into too much depth and that about what, and you're not really going through anything, so that's a bit dull.
I mean, literally, the thing I'm going through at the moment is how much breaking one fucking finger ruins your entire life.
Yeah, you're in a bit of pain, actually, aren't you? To be fair, you are suffering a little bit.
But it's like everything you do. It's just... When I broke my little finger on my left hand, it wasn't too bad because it was my left hand. But because I broke my fucking ring finger on my right hand, it's like everything I do, writing, typing, opening a fucking door, just everything.
I wondered how many things you were going to get.
Oh, mate,
go into then.
Like literally everything in my life at the moment is just like causing me grief. So yeah, that's kind of annoying.
I actually ate some food today, which was quite.
Was it laced
nice.
with
Proper
alcohol?
Food. No.
Oh, that's kind of a strange statement, though. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, well, I've not really been eating for like a week. I've basically been snacking, and you can't really call like a pot noodle at work food and stuff like that.
Is that all you've been eating?
Actually, yeah.
And then 6 pints of Guinness at night.
No, I haven't drunk that much this week.
Okay, shall we go into that then? How many times have you been in the pub?
This week?
Yes. Since Friday?
Since Friday?
Yeah. So I'm assuming you went Friday night?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Of course. Saturday night?
Yeah.
Sunday night?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Monday night?
Yeah.
Tuesday night?
Yeah.
Wednesday night?
Think so, yeah.
Thursday night?
Yeah.
Friday night?
No. I went football and I went to bed.
Fuck, I'm not surprised. I bet you were damn near unconscious when after football. Saturday?
Yeah.
Sunday? Tonight?
No,
Are you going
no,
tonight?
I'm not planning on going tonight. I'm going to watch I'm going to stay in and watch the darts tonight.
Struth.
Because
Like,
it's the
you
UK
can't.
Open.
When somebody
Hang
says
on.
that, have
You're
you
going to
been
watch
drinking?
darts.
You can't
Do me a
say no.
favour. Remove all sharp implements, belts, ropes, or anything from your vicinity, because after that, it could be a bit of alcohol, bit of darts. Just saying.
Not a big fan of darts, are you?
No.
I like the darts though, so we'll see. So, yeah.
Oh God, I was looking at some joke things on Twitter and they're horrific, by the way.
Yeah.
This one actually calls itself Funny Dad Jokes. And it's really not. Over 120 years ago, two brothers announced they could fly. Turns out they were white.
The Wright brothers.
Could say right. My eyes are going, I'm old, leave me alone.
The Wright brothers, the people who invented
It's not a funny joke, though.
It is.
It's
they were right. The Wright brothers, the people who...
I know where it's going. I know where the joke's going, I just don't think it's funny.
Dad.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes I genuinely wonder how me and him are even friends. You know what? It's kind of sad that we created an entire section talking about our lives and just fuck all.
I know.
It's not that there's nothing to talk about. It's that we can't really go into detail because it's so bad. It's got so bad that we can't actually go into
I
depth
can't get into it because
about what's
it makes
going on.
so much. It makes things so much
you
worse.
think I've lit a fuse under my life now, right?
No,
if I actually spoke in detail about what was going on and who was involved and what that person meant to me and what this person was and what this really, honestly, boom.
It'd be like lighting the beacons of Gondor.
Yeah, you think Chernobyl was bad, right? This is gonna.
Mate, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually buying a bag of popcorn. So when this all unfolds, I can sit there and enjoy the show.
Yeah, he's already got "I told you so" printed on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Or
just like
actually, it's going to be more like, I knew this shit was going to happen. I'm just enjoying the show.
yeah. There's going to be a show though. There's going to be a show. But yeah, that I think that's the problem. Is our lives have got that bad.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think mine's that bad to be fair, but you know.
2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be quite excited though, because 2 weeks tomorrow I go to Dublin for St Patrick's Day.
He's going to be fucking useless when he gets back from Dublin, you know, don't you?
So what you're telling me is we need a guest for that week.
Oh,
Why? I'll have recovered. Then.
Bollocks!
not a chance.
How?
How are you today, Jim?
When are you going to Dublin?
Monday morning,
And when are you coming back?
Thursday.
He's going to be dead. He's going to be dead. I'll be surprised if by Sunday you're out of your coma.
No, I won't be drinking on the Thursday though. Much.
You've already contradicted your statement, like immediately. I won't be drinking a lot. Maybe a few.
The flight's at like.
Maybe loads.
I think the flight's at like 1, 2 o'clock. So it's only going to be.
afternoon?
Yeah. So it's only going to be breakfast and beer.
And what's your breakfast when you're over in Ireland?
Oh, proper full Irish breakfast. It's good.
Guinness, followed by Guinness. Followed by Guinness.
Followed by another Guinness with another Guinness.
No, I might not drink Guinness on the last day because I might be all full up.
Might be all full of fucking hell.
I know that when I go to Dublin after about 3 days, Guinness gets hard to drink because your body changes and you only got the black stuff inside you.
That should never have been uttered.
What?
Your body changes and you've only got the black stuff inside you. Are you really? Really?
I could have said the creamy black stuff inside you.
Dude, seriously, we're getting cancelled. We're getting cancelled. We're not even popular, but we're getting cancelled.
Yeah.
That was disgraceful. Are you gonna? Hello? Are you gonna join in with this?
I don't. I'm trying not to innuendo the innuendo. Well, should I say, by the sound of things, more his endo.
Definitely in his end, though.
Who are you going to Ireland with? Because that might become a reality.
The duck guy.
No, so yeah. So are you sharing a room with him?
Not a bed.
Sharing more than a room.
I'd say a few Guinnesses. This could get very much.
No, to be fair, there's one rule. You go over to Dublin, and all you really need is I need a bed, a toilet, and a shower. That's all I need from a hotel.
Bed, toilet, and shower.
Yeah, that's all I need.
It's who's going to be with you in the bed, the toilet, and the shower that concerns me.
Nobody will be in there. I'll be solo.
Han Solo.
That's not an image that I needed, man. Seriously, I could have done without that image. Wow. Says the one that's broke his finger.
Yeah.
Just because his wank is way too aggressive. That wasn't football. I reckon he did that before football. Just use football as the excuse. Yeah, that. Good luck in Ireland.
Why?
Because you're going to fucking need it by the sounds of it.
Why? It's not like it's the first time.
I'm not sure if that makes it any better. You've made it sound awful. I'll be honest with you. I no longer want to go to Ireland with you because
How?
it sounds awful.
How does it sound awful?
Black, creamy stuff inside you. Yeah. No thanks. It's not for me. I'm good. I'll live without that.
You don't have to have Guinness. It's all about
Hang
alcoholic
on. When
beverages.
we were talking
in the
about
world.
Guinness.
Yeah. It's fucking hell. What an absolute shambles. It's a good job the other two bits were longer because we can cut this bit short now. Because it's absolutely abysmal.
Sorry, are we making you uncomfortable?
But he's making me uncomfortable. I'm sat near him. I'm not sat near you.
This part is just going to be how uncomfortable can we make Stretch part.
It is kind of looking that way.
I'm okay with it because that's been the story of my fucking week. If I'm honest, So carry on. I'm kind of used to this position at the minute. Fucking hell, it wasn't any more comfortable last week. By the way, when you were all talking about anime characters,
That's what I mean.
that was just as bad. That was fucking awful. And then you're going, oh, download this game and download that game, and I'm sort of looking at it thinking, should I? Or is some woman going to be there seductively calling tin ribs over? I'm not sure if I can handle like seeing that. It would be weird.
It's just like, so you. I don't know what I was going to say then.
I was praying it wasn't going to be anything ridiculous.
It's like the scenes on like GTA where you pick up the hooker and stuff like that. It just gets more
Did I just
realistic
hear that?
now.
Is that a thing?
Have you
Oh
never
my
been on
God.
GTA and picked up a hooker?
Stretch is the kind of guy that picks them up. When they get in, he switches to first-person view.
I can assure you that's not the case. I know it fucking does. Like you two weirdos and everybody else you've been talking to.
It does get more graphic, so I really am looking forward to GTA
What
6.
gets more graphic?
But like when you go to lap dancing clubs and all sorts in the game.
I mean, really? Is that I didn't
That's a
realise that
thing.
would be a thing. Is that a thing?
In GTA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I don't really play GTA.
You're strange. I mean, I've got to be honest, I don't go to the lap dancing clubs and have lap dances. It's fucking computer generated. What's wrong with you people? I wouldn't go to an actual lap dancing club because I don't see the fucking point. I don't see the point. If a woman's getting naked or half naked in front of me, I don't want to sit there and be told, fucking
I am
hell.
going to fucking hurt you.
I don't want to be told you can't touch this woman. What's the point? Where's the fun in that? I don't see the fun in that. Am I wrong? Or do you go to lap dance? Have you been to a strip club?
Been to 2 stag do's.
I've been to 2, actually.
But the thing I will say about them is there's a key word in what you're having, which is a strip tease.
Yeah.
Who the fuck wants to be teased?
Quite a lot of people. You'd be actually surprised.
Yeah. I'm all right being teased if I can grab hold of you at the end of it. Happy days, no problem. But if I'm getting teased and then you're fucking off, I just don't see the... I don't see the
I'm not a big fan myself. I find it pointless. But watching a certain member of our football team on a Friday night get rode around the room with a belt around his neck like a horse was highly amusing on his stag do. I'll tell you who later.
I was going to say that's obviously not going on.
I'm not sure if I want
camera.
that.
So basically, we all went to this strip joint, Legs 11 in Birmingham. And because it was this lad's stag do, they pretty much went out their way to embarrass him, which was hilarious. And at one point, they got the 2 hottest ladies in there to strip him down, like take his top off. Now, keep in mind, we're all wearing fucking lederhosen at this point because don't ask why, but that was the theme of it.
I wasn't gonna.
Yeah. So they've stripped him down into these pathetic little pink shorts that we've got him, which was quite funny. And he's literally on all fours, being rode around the room by these 2 girls. They made an ass of him, but it was funny.
Yeah.
So when you're sort of doing that and it's all, but as a rule, it's can't. The other time I went was still a stag do, but it wasn't
Just
done in the
answer
same.
me one question.
What?
Is this man generally quite quiet?
A little bit.
We're going to find out in a minute.
Might be the person I'm thinking of then.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if you guessed it right, but I don't think you have. I know who you're thinking, and it's not him.
Okay.
But, we'll go into that afterwards. But the other stag do I went to, we just went in there, and it was like, I'll pay for your dance. And it was boring. Whereas at least with this person...
have you had a lap dance then in them?
Yeah.
Strip tease or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I did.
I've been to 2, and I've never had a
I've
lap
had one.
dance because I just didn't see the point. I did, however. We went on a works do. Fucking horrendous. We went on a works do. Right, first place these guys wanted to go. Right, was a lap dancing club. So we get to Blackpool. There's fucking loads of us, and we all decide, okay, we're going to go to this lap dancing club before we do anything else, and then we'll go off and in the groups that we're generally in. Okay, cool. So we go to this lap dancing club, and I'm sat there, and these women are coming up to you left, right, and centre. It was fucking. It felt like harassment. I'll be honest with you. I was dead uncomfortable. Didn't like it. Not my scene. Not my thing. Didn't enjoy it at all. Finally, the guy's like, "Oh, we're ready to go now." I thought, "Fuck for that." And I noticed that my group was one short, and I'm like, "Where is he?" Sent him a message. Where are you? I was trying to meet you in. I can't remember the name of the club, but there was like a 70s bar there, which some of the lads wanted to go in. It was alright. I don't like 70s
Sort of like
music,
a Flames sort of thing.
Flames, that's what it's called. Well done. So we were in Flames, we were all talking. I'm like, you message him, you message him. 8 of us messaging, ringing, nothing. We're now thinking, fuck's happened to him? Like, we're in Blackpool. Like, this is not good. We don't know where we're looking. Panicking. We then start searching the streets for him. We start ringing him, texting. Fuck all. We're like, fucking hell. Maybe he's with one of the other groups. So we text some of the other guys. Have you seen him? No. So we're panicked. Didn't stop the night out at this point. I might add that we didn't stop the night out at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going back 20 years because I think I was 24. So we carried on with the night out, but we are panicking about this guy. Get back to the hotel, right? Who's already in bed? What a twat this whole time. He just came back to the fucking hotel and went to bed. No. He didn't just go back to the hotel and go to bed. He stayed in the strip club and spent £600.
Fucking hell!
£600. And he was that fucked by the time he left. He couldn't even... He had to be guided back to the hotel by a random and put in bed by a random bloke because he couldn't fucking see where he was going.
Jesus.
And we're like, we woke up in the morning, we're like, you're a twat. Why didn't you tell one of us that you were staying there or that you were doing this? I never thought. Just wanted to see all the women naked. For fuck's sake. Panic.
Wow.
I will add again, panicking like fuck, but didn't stop the night out, like in a different place.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my strip club story.
Yeah.
Panicking about a guy that was just like, oh, fuck you, I'll go back because I've just spent 600 quid. Like, holy shit. How much did you bring? You went 600 quid. That's why I didn't bother fucking going back out. Wow. There's not one of us that took 600 quid apart from him.
I don't really have interest in lap dancing club stories. I've been plenty of times.
Plenty of times.
I used to do cheap drinks on a Monday night. So we used to
They don't
go
do
in
cheap
there.
women. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, they used to have offers on a Monday night because it was a student night up Hanley. So
Oh, Lace.
no, that's
No,
is
it's
that
Newcastle.
No, ST1.
Oh,
It's shut down now.
sexually
Sorry.
transmitted disease as
So
well.
we're not plugging a lap dancing.
No, both
club.
of them are closed.
Well, I don't
They're
know.
both gone.
I wouldn't know. I didn't know they were open.
So I knew about ST1 from when I worked in Stoke because there was a lad who went there
Yeah.
regularly, and Lace was the one I went to for the first stag do. But I'm sure they're both closed. I know ST1's closed.
There was one night where the lap dances were all paid for and the drinks were paid for by a professional footballer while we were in there.
Nice.
So that was an interesting
Is it?
evening.
You're a professional footballer, man. If you can't pull when you're a professional footballer,
No, that's
It's not about pulling, that's doing it for his
that's-
mates,
That's
that was.
a bit of fun for the nights out. That is.
Yeah. He wasn't doing anything. I can categorically say it was, and he wasn't drinking either.
fair play to you.
Footballer will not be
I mean,
named.
No.
If that's what you want to do, then that's up to you.
No,
innit?
but you know, at the end of the day, when you've got that kind of money, if you want to walk in there and go, yeah, it's all on me, then fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, part of me gets it. Part of me thinks do something normal because that shit's just weird. Again, why would you want a woman to be half naked in front of you and not be able to touch? I don't see the appeal.
But I will say the foreign lap dancers are a lot dirtier than the English ones.
Dirtier. He had to pick that word, didn't he? Dirtier.
Yeah, they're more filth in a good way.
Filth in a good way. Wow. Okay.
Dirty bitch.
Remember one of them becoming a Southampton fan just because that's how we managed to convert her. I think she was Romanian, so we were like, oh, you know, Adriana Mutu at the time, I think it was. I think he was playing still before his whole shenanigans.
Just wasn't with her, was it? I was just
God
checking.
knows. Yeah.
Fucking
I
hell.
think who was it as well? Dan Petrescu or something like that. We were talking about. It's just it was
Wow.
a funny night, that was.
Yeah, I mean, I feel a little out of my depth talking about that sort of thing because it's not something that I am involved in or I've ever been involved in. And I don't really it's not my scene.
I bet you it's been over 10 years since I've been to a lap dancing club, though.
Oh, fucking longer than that. I think the last one I went to was when we went to Blackpool. I was 24, so that's 20
I dread to
years
think
ago.
how much it costs now, because I remember like back then it was like you were all right for like
20.
a fiver.
20 quid for like the
some of
5-minute
them.
dance or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it was when we went to Blackpool. I know it was fucking 600 quid worth. I don't know how much it was when we went up there because obviously I never had a dance. So
Well, if you're in SD1 at like the last thing at night, you could pay like 100 quid and you've got like half an hour of like as many lap dances as you want and unlimited drinks.
I'm assuming you've done that because you know that that's a thing.
Only once. We wanted
Jesus.
drinks.
11 years ago was when I went.
Yeah.
Have you literally just checked that up on Facebook? And
Well, I just looked at the year the wedding was. Obviously, stag do was not far before. So
okay. Yeah. We'll find out who that is in a minute.
Yeah.
Right, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for everybody that is listening and everybody that has come to join us. We really appreciate it. If you want to get in touch, it's sundaypundits@gmail.com. And we shall see you lovely, lovely people next week.